Hey, thanks for joining me. Hope you're doing well. As I've been trying to emphasize in my videos, what we've been experiencing is nothing more than a projection system of consciousness funneling outwards from the center so we can resolve our collective dualistic condition. It's just like Carl Jung said, the psychological rule says that when an inner situation is not made conscious, it happens outside as fate. That is to say, when the individual remains undivided and does not become conscious of his inner opposite, the world must perforce act out the conflict and be torn into opposing halves. This is what's been happening on a macro and microcosmic level. We've described Sophia and the Demiurge many times, but this is also the same story of Persephone and Hades. This is yet another story explaining what happened to the living souls, to the children of the Black Sun. Persephone, the sweet daughter of goddess Demeter, was kidnapped by Hades and eventually became the queen of the underworld. Persephone ate the seeds of a pomegranate that Hades had given to her, binding her to live a third of the year in Hades. We are Persephone. We plunged into our self-made underworld, Hades, which, as I described in my video, Flat Earth Matrix, The Land of the Dead, is indeed the realm we're in, but it's a self-created one. The stars, again, are the gears behind the scenes which sit underneath the firmament. They are on the circuit of the ergosphere and orchestrate this dance of consciousness we're in. The stars existing below the firmament are in your mind, and the word firmament reveals this, containing ment, coming from the Latin mente, meaning mind. It's all in our mind. In Norse cosmology, the cosmic world tree Yggdrasil is supported by 3 roots. The third root extends to heaven, and beneath it is the very holy Well of Urd. The Norse heaven is called Asgard. There, a beautiful hall stands under the ash tree near the Well of Urd. The water of this well is described as so holy that anyone who enters it will become as white as the membrane called the skin that lies round the inside of the eggshell. In a recent video, we talked about the first book of Adam and Eve and the living waters the scripture reveals. These are the purifying living waters of the Holy Grail at the center. For an in-depth review of the Holy Grail allegories, check out episode 3 of The Greatest Secret. The Bible contains this same prophecy, speaking of the return to these living waters. And I quote, "The Lamb at the center of the throne will be their shepherd. He will lead them to springs of living water, and God will wipe away every tear from their eyes." These passages are describing the 144,000 it mentions before. Once we realize this is not the state we want to remain in, we can spill our blood over our divine intent, proclaiming our intent to bring forth a golden age, where the 144,000 will travel back to Asgard, to the Well of Urd, where we will bathe in the living waters and drink from the Holy Grail. Blood is our inner spirit, coursing throughout our body. It's not merely a physical substance, it constitutes the breath of life on all spiritual levels. Your blood is connected to mine, is connected to every one of your blood brothers, and the closer we get to the 144,000 number, the closer we will be to returning to Eden. The center is the cradle of life in this realm, the cosmic toroidal generator. The flat earth trinity of black sun, sun, and astral light all meet at this location, generating our holographic reality. In the book Paradise Found, the cradle of the human race at the North Pole, it's written, "We were told of a dwelling which the gods created for the first human beings, in the center of the earth. We, quote, left our etheric bodies and materialized dense physical ones when we dreamt up this simulation, and ever since we have been on a sort of spiritual loop, experiencing the shadows of our collective innermost, until we can remember the center once again. This is Ultima Thule." And I quote Peter Moon's book, The Black Sun. Ultima Thule is identified as the Teutonic Garden of Eden. It also parallels the story of Babylon, where mankind lost its connection to the Godhead. So everything we thought we knew is backwards. You are God. You are this realm. To separate anything into religions, dogmas, anything propelled by fear, it all becomes irrelevant once the state of duality is abolished and the black and white sun fuse together. We are the 144,000 of the 12 tribes of Israel who were supposedly lost. When we break down this word Israel, we're looking at Isis, Ra, and El. Isis is the mother goddess. Ra, as most know, is the sun. And El is the demiurge, this entire construct we're in. But these three seemingly separate entities will dissolve into each other once again, and the 12 tribes will be one. We are indeed playing out a game of thrones. Saturn's ring is binding us all together inevitably. No money required. Just sit back and let the divine 144,000 swim to the center. I worship all of you because you are me. This blood magic is no oath. We are denouncing our oath to Satan, Saturn, Father Time, i.e., ourselves. We can escape what seems like fate. We are ending the suffering of all beings, of all living beings who projected themselves out here. It starts with blood over intent. This is the domino that will collapse the demiurgic false light system we thought we had trapped ourselves in. Thank you for watching. I love you all.